Or again, where you're going to be primarily operating is, in this dashboard right here. Might be a good idea, again, to check your tasks, maybe once a day and the end of the day to kind of get it prepared for the next day. Primarily, we're going to use this for updating you on training or any updating on recordings. If there's a particular phone call that comes back, something to that effect, we may ask for some feedback on that for you. Okay. But once you're into the system and you've logged in and you're ready to start your day, really all you need to do is go ahead and expand this contact portion and go down here to the manual actions. Okay. Under the manual actions is all the lists that are, or all the leads that are going to be in your list to call for that day. Okay. Now, the way this is it's once you call through the list, then it starts back at the top, right? We're going to rotate these lists out about every 3 days is how the actions that I have set up in here. So you're going to be able to give these people a call 2 or 3 or 4 times before you're actually going to be, it's going to be moving on to another rep, or we're going to assess the disposition of it, maybe disqualify the lead. Okay. But all you got to do whenever you get in here is just basically hop in here and hit let's get started. Okay. That's how you turn the auto dialer on. Okay. Whenever you hit let's get started, what it's going to do is it's going to make a call. Now that call didn't go through, right? So what it's going to do is how did that call go? Now we have to disposition that phone call, right? We have to go no answer, busy, voicemail, completed. Okay. We didn't get an answer on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. Now, I'm actually not going to move on to the next lead, okay? If I wanted to move on to the next lead, I have to hit this to do this, right? Or you can hit the pause button, okay? For this particular action, I'm going to go ahead and hit the pause button. The reason why it goes through that cycle is it gives you a little bit of time to come up here and update your notes, right? So one thing I would really appreciate, and we would really appreciate as a whole, to help us manage this and help get rid of a lot of the junk in here, I should say, is let's say that was a voicemail and you hear a voicemail happening, right? Or I'm sorry, a fax machine. Then go in here and write it as, fax number. And then on the contact tab, if you'll scroll down here, it has a D&D, right? We're going to opt out of marketing. Go ahead and click that. Okay. So this is how we're going to manage a lot of the lead information within here. Because guys, again, we're pulling a lot of this stuff from, realtor list. We're pulling it from online directory basins. We're pulling it from LinkedIn. We're pulling some stuff from Facebook, things along those lines. So these numbers, they vary from where their orientation is. Okay. So all this information, since you're the owner of it, you can edit all this information. So if Jennifer, if she's Jane, right? Go in here and just make a note in there, right? Hey, account holder is Jane, right? Not interested. Cigna, right? Whatever. So we just put any note in there, right? That all you got to do is hit save, right? It's going to record that note in there. Account hold and Jane, no interest, has Cigna, right? It records the date, timestamp when it happens, records even the user who did it. Okay, so that's the really nice thing about this system is we're going to be able to tag things and keep much tighter structure on the data to make sure that we're not stepping all over each other, right? I mean, I know you guys are getting frustrated, especially with some of the the duplicate appointments. So ideally, this is going to limit a lot of that by being able to actually notate things, keep much better, more specific notes. But then also, if we are setting duplicate appointments when we're accessing the dialer, it's not going to allow us to do that. Okay. So as you get in here again, if it's a fax machine or something to that effect, or, a bad number, office number where you've got to go through 100 different auto dialers or prompts to get to it, right? You might just go ahead and opt that out so it doesn't go back in the marketing campaign. Okay. I'm not going to get mad at you for just getting rid of leads or anything to that effect. So the next thing that we want to look at, again, is your generalized information. So your first tab is going to be the contact information. And you got first name, last name, email address, phone number. Date of birth is a drop-down menu for you to assess it. All right. And you've got your source. If you want to do 20, 21, you can actually do that, and it'll go in there, okay? It's kind of nice there. The source, you're not going to have any source. And then the tags is going to just tell you what the lead program is and whether or not it's a contact, a lead or not, okay? So all this information, once you make an update in there, right, like I updated the date in there, you always want to hit save down here, okay? Now, these are all, again, these just generalized information. And then the final additional information you've got here, right? This is your form, right? So you've got your provider. I'll get rid of some of these. We don't really need to worry about the company phone number, but the premium, right? You've got your subsidy, your smoker, ages, comments, email state, pre-existing. So this is the nice form that we're going to fill out that's going to zap over the appointment. So once you filled out all of that stuff, again, you go ahead and hit save. Now that's going to tag that to the lead, and it's going to basically timestamp when and where that was done. Okay. So that you're going to be able to see, and we can see that on the back end. And that's how you're going to operate through these systems. And then when you're ready to move on to the next lead, all you do is have to go up here and go hit the next lead, and it'll actually go into the next lead for you, right? So I completed the phone call, right? It's actually gives me some time again to update this. I want to do that before it's actually doing the next lead. So once this hits the end of the stop time, it's going to do that. If we find at the end of the day it's taking too much time to do that, let me know. But you can also just go ahead and hit the next lead button, and it'll jump that time on it. Okay. That time is just what's automatically programmed in there to give you the ability to update whatever your notes are, record the note in here, right? Or what we'll cover in the next one is actually setting the appointment. Okay.